So the first point I'd make is we can't take for granted, and no officials at any level, including the European Commission, should ever take for granted the decisions that the democratically elected representatives right across the European Union may decide to make in the European Parliament. So I think it's an open question. It looks more likely than not that it will pass the Parliament, but I don't think we can take that for granted. There's still a window of time here, and I know there's a number of countries. I heard the comments of the French Agricultural Minister today, that have basically said this is not a done deal. So we, at an Irish level, will be continuing through our Minister for Agriculture and our Minister for Trade to outline the concerns that we have in relation to the agreement, to see if those concerns can be addressed through the Parliament system. The Parliament is the co-legislator in relation to this.
Are you actually trying to stop it being ratified by the Parliament, or just to gain further concessions?
So Ireland's position, and this is where the government has acted in a very responsible fashion. Ireland's position, my position as leader of Fine Gael, the position in the programme for government, never said no, nay, never. It said we couldn't support the Mercosur agreement in its current form. And we worked literally up till 5 to midnight in terms of the decision point to see if changes and improvements could be made in terms of addressing concerns around food safety, around parity when it comes to environmental standards, and it wasn't possible to make enough progress. That's not just our view, it was our view, it was France's view. France and Ireland generally adopt similar views in relation to these matters, and it remains our view. So our position is never absolutist in relation to this. We believe in free trade, we believe in open trade, this country benefits from free trade, but it's not a question of free trade at any cost. It has to be free trade that doesn't expect our farmers or our consumers to adopt a different set of standards to product that comes into our country versus product that's produced in our country.
So you're still trying to change the deal?
Yes, we're continuing to work through the process. I mean, we have Irish MEPs. I, as the leader of Fine Gael, as Fine Gael MEPs in the European Parliament, who will have just as much a say as the Council has, and that's how the structure works. And I've heard lots of different comments or observations in the last number of hours in relation to this. What Ireland is doing is working the process, working the treaties, following the law, which says that the Council has a say, and we exercise our view and our values in relation to that today, but also the Parliament has a say, and we'll be monitoring that process very closely in the days and weeks ahead.